What's up, everybody?
Hello. I can barely hear Matt today.
Oh yeah, probably should have put the mic near my face. That would have made sense.
That is why I hate you.
Never say I'm not prepared for things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my son asked me the other day if babies passed away.
Ooh, that's a dark
Randomly.
topic.
I know. I was
Just-
sometimes that unfortunately happens, but not often. And then he said, do kids pass away too? And I said, again, yes, sometimes, but it's not really all that often. You know, it's most people live to be pretty old.
And they go to hell because they are not saved.
That's so terrible. I just went to Staples and I see this guy hauling this car seat.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the kid in the car seat. I mean like a car seat, like a baby car seat. Like, you know, like a rear-facing car seat. The kid had to be like 2. Kid was huge. Kid's legs were hanging over the side.
Yeah.
And the dude's like muscling it, trying to carry it. And I was like, that could be walking if it was my kid.
Well, the weird shit that you see in the mall, like a 7-year-old sitting in a stroller.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Just like,
I don't.
And it's just like, well, he's tired. What are you fucking? Those little bastards have endless amounts of energy. What are you talking about? He's tired.
Yeah, you're tired. You're the adult that's pushing around. We're the ones with the shitty muscles and bones that are falling apart day by day, minute by minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But yeah, that slow motion to decay.
Just seeing the kid's legs hanging over the side of the car seat, like touching the floor.
This little bastard was was in that stroller like a Flintstones character. His feet were just on the floor, like, helping them walk along.
I felt so bad for
ridiculous.
The guy. I was like, you know, that kid just bugs the shit out of him. Is like, please carry me. Anyway, maybe it was just a really big toddler, or not toddler,
because the 2-year-old's a toddler. Yeah,
that's what. Maybe it wasn't a baby; it was just a gigantic baby.
you know what? I won't put it past it that it just being a big ass baby.
I wouldn't be surprised. I stopped at Staples to do some Amazon returns. Which can we talk about the fact that Staples does Amazon returns now and why that is? Staples is
probably a
dying
contract.
brick and mortar.
They need the contract. Amazon's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I understand the concept of how it came to be. My point
is
Staples is I fucking hate you. Staples is a dying brick and mortar store, right? With like 3 employees working at a time, and every time I go in, there's like a line of people at the Amazon returns.
Don't say that. Don't say it's dying, because if it goes away, I won't be able to ever buy ink ever again.
Oh, at Staples.
That's the only place I can get the right ink for my printer.
You could get it on Amazon.
Printer.
You could get it anywhere.
Oh yeah, great! Another thing that Daddy Amazon can just take over.
Look, I don't disagree, but what are we supposed to do about it anyway? And I got there and I get in line and there's 2 women ahead of me and they're both young and reasonably attractive.
What's wrong with them being women?
Nothing.
What's wrong with them being attractive or reasonable? They can't be any of those things?
It's going to be one of these episodes, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm in a bad mood today, so yeah.
They're both like young and reasonably attractive women. And there's this, like, I don't know, 50-something, 60-something-year-old dude at the counter. And he's just fucking flirting with them, taking as much time as he can while I'm standing in line trying to wait for my turn. And he's just like, oh, yeah, blah,
Wait,
blah,
you wanted your turn for him to flirt with you, too? Like, what's...
Yeah, I mean, I felt really left jealous. Out. I felt left out. I wanted him on these nuts, you know?
Yeah. Okay. No, I get it. I don't blame you.
I wanted him to tell me my hair was pretty and my nails were pretty. Okay.
Of course.
You know,
you work really hard on that.
I know. I work very hard on my one nail.
2 hours just meticulously getting under the cuticles.
My luxurious locks underneath this hat that covering my bald head.
Hey, invisible locks. They're see-through. They're see-through locks.
I identify as somebody with long, luxurious hair. And then that was the first woman, and then the second woman had like all this Yankee stuff, and I'm like, she broke up with a boyfriend that likes the Yankees that she had bought a bunch of Yankees for. Because
she has to live with the ghost of his bullshit.
And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you like the Yankees? Yeah, you should take a trip to Cooperstown." She wanted nothing to do with it. She was just like, this old dude is just trying to flirt with me, and I don't. Maybe he was overly friendly. Maybe I'm being overly cynical and thinking that he was flirting with them. But
no, it's funnier to think that he was flirting with them, though.
Look, I'm pretty sure he was. I don't think I'm wrong about this, but it was so... I just wanted to get up to the line and return my stupid shit. That I, my
what
Chinese...
are you returning this time, by the way?
I'm always returning something. I was looking for a sander, like something small, and it was this piece of shit, like Chinese knockoff sander with the pieces weren't even metal; they were little plastic arms that you attached to it to do the sanding, and you had to attach these plastic arms with these little shapes on the end. And it came with stickers, sandpaper stickers that you put on. And I was like, well, what do I do when these stickers are gone? And I got to cut out sandpaper and glue them. It was just a piece of shit. So that was what I think I was returning something else. Paint pens. I bought paint pens, and they were too thick. So that was it. It wasn't anything crazy. But all I wanted to do was check out. And yeah. That's all I was returning. But, I felt bad that I didn't get hit on. He didn't take the time to explain to me. Also, both women, he prints out the receipt and he's like, okay, here's your receipt. So this top part here, this is your return receipt that proves that you returned it. And this bottom part here, if you tear this, if you want to cut this part off, there's a 15% off coupon. And you can use this on anything in the store.
Wait,
he didn't do any of that shit with me.
Maybe he's not flirting with them. Maybe he just thinks all women are babies.
He didn't do any of that shit with me. He was just like, here's your piece of paper. I think he was just taking his time, and that was like the highlight of his day was talking to two women. That's like all
the interaction he has with women all day. He needs to savor it.
Guarantee that's all the interaction he has with women.
At least, as long as he's like being nice and not necessarily creepy,
yes. No,
then I guess it gets
he was being nice and not creepy. He did compliment the one woman's nails, but she was totally into it. She was like totally all in on the flirting back, casually. Not obviously, I don't think she was interested in him at all. But the second woman was just like, I think she was a nurse because she had the little nursing badge on her. She had a nursing. I don't think she was a nurse. I know she was because she had a little nursing badge on her pants, and she wanted nothing to do with it. She was just like, just shut the fuck up. Just take my shit, wrap it up.
There's somebody that lives rent free in my head. I only remember his face. I don't know the guy's name. No, you. I don't even think about you unless we're recording the show. But so there's this guy that lives rent free in my head. Because I'm ultra friendly. Like when I was in retail, I was ultra friendly, and I used to work at Sam's Club. I think I was like 17 or 18.
Oh, did you? I like Sam's Club.
I worked at Sam's Club. I was register, and I took over any other job anybody else wouldn't do. And I learned that they will take advantage of you for doing that. But regardless.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, it's unpleasant because you have to what you used to do at Sam's Club, because they don't have you do this anymore, is you bring up if somebody brings up a basket, you have another basket. Not like a shop basket, but like one of the flatbeds.
Right.
And you have to transfer
the
and
stuff.
Scan. Transfer and scan. They didn't let the customer do it. You had to do it.
Okay.
So on top of ringing them up and whatever other bullshit they have you do, you have to also do that.
Right.
And so I would talk to the customer. I would, just being friendly and nice. And usually whenever it rained, people just flood into Sam's Club, which is the only thing I realize that is still true today. If it's raining, people just go to Sam's Club. I don't know why.
You know what? You're right. And I don't know why either. They're just looking for deals.
Bad. Yep. Well, the parking is bad. Meat. Everyone's in a bad mood.
They have great meat at Sam's Club. They I don't know why Arby's tagline is "We have the meats." It should be Sam's Club's tagline. Sam's Club, we have the meats.
Well, I mean, that's still so borderline male strip club. Like Chippendales should say "We have the meat," but
Chippendales, we have the meat.
But so I was talking to this customer, and mind you, they had a lot of shit. I had to stack this shit like Tetris, so I'm just talking and laughing with them, and I finish up, I ring them out, and this guy, He has the dad jeans, skinnier white guy. Had to have been in his mid 40s.
So my age.
I remember him. He
Dude,
mid 40s,
you just
skin
said
like
mid-40s, and I'm like,
you just hurt yourself.
In my head, I went, okay, and I had a picture, and then I went, oh wait, I'm almost mid-40s. Fuck. Anyway,
And you know those guys, usually Caucasians, where they're just like very red, but
Yes.
it's like you see the white skin, but it's just like red, like just red.
they're just reddish.
And
Yes.
I think he was just out of anger, but no, because his eyes got red when he got angry.
I think it's usually a high blood pressure thing.
Yeah,
they're
probably.
They're just always red.
Well, hopefully he's dead. Anyway, so he
What?
he
I thought you were having a pleasant conversation with him.
not with him. After I let the first customers go,
Okay.
as I did my nice greeting, I greeted him just like I greeted them.
This is the
and
next
he
customer.
said, "Shut up! You're sitting here fucking talking to people instead of doing your goddamn job."
Wow.
Which was bullshit because I was literally scanning and moving shit the whole time while doing that because my mouth can move while I'm doing.
Yeah, obviously
things.
you could talk while you're working. Sure.
And he I think this was one of the first times I can remember experiencing a major panic attack.
Yeah,
Because I was shaking, but it was not because I was scared of him, because where do you come off just talking to a stranger like that?
Well, it's you're thrust into this bizarro world, and you're just like, am I in reality anymore? This is not the way normal humans behave.
And my natural reaction to somebody speaking to me in a certain way is to just do the opposite of what they tell me to do.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And it's like, if I get into an argument, let's say with my wife, and she yells at me, I stop dead in my tracks. So if you're yelling at me, especially to do I'm not going to do it.
Right, you're not
until
gonna
you
interact with
talk to me like we're adults. Mind you, I wasn't an
Right.
adult. I was 17, 18, but still.
No, I get it.
That's just my natural reaction because that's just my natural reaction. But this guy, again, lives rent-free like the Freddy Krueger in my dreams when I think of nightmare, when I think of retail.
All these years later.
And talking, people talking to customers. Every time I see a worker, an employee of a business talking to a customer, doing that, I have a flashback.
You just go right back to
I wonder where he is. I just want to, now that I'm not, I just want to follow his old ass around now.
Well, yeah, let's see. We're talking 20 years ago, right? Around?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he could be dead now.
Yeah, I hope so.
He could be.
I hope he didn't pass along his nasty attitude. And then you go, well, maybe he went through he was having a bad time. Fuck
no,
him.
there's no excuse.
No. You don't lash out at people. I don't care. Everybody's in lines. And I'm actually one of the, and I know this is just from my perspective, but I was one of the only fastest moving lines. Because
you were getting shit done.
I was still working.
Getting shit done. Yeah.
And that's what I did. That's why they had me do everyone else's job.
No, the dude was completely wrong. Like you said, you can talk and do your job. Were you supposed to just stand there in silence like a fucking...
Even if I wasn't doing my job, one, he didn't say shit until he came up into my line, so I wasn't that bad.
Right.
He should have said something. He didn't say anything.
He wasn't at the back of
manager.
the line yo, hurry up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody
complained about that. The person after him saw how he treated me and apologized for that guy.
That's how you know it was bad.
He just took it out on a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Who was a kid to him.
That's what he was doing. He was taking out his rage on a stranger.
And again, I remember it. He had a whitish. It looked like the thickness of flannel, but it was white, cream colored, button up, tucked into his jeans.
Oh, he was a tucker
with the dad jeans on.
Tucking your shirt into jeans is great. I never people who tuck their shirt in just in general. They worry me.
And not like the 90s tuck where it's just tucked in the front and everything's baggy in the back.
Yeah. Especially casual shirts. If you got a dress shirt on and it's tucked into khaki or something, fine.
Yeah,
people who have a polo or a t-shirt and they have it tucked in, especially the jeans or something's wrong with that person.
Well, okay, if you're wearing jeans and you tuck in anything, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes,
even cowboys. I'm sorry, the denim on denim thing is still just with it's
agreed.
still.
You don't like the Canadian tuxedo?
I will give it that I think the denim on denim tuck in works as long as you have cowboy boots on. As long as you have cowboy
I
boots
mean,
on, I think it may work.
I don't know. It looks like you're trying to camouflage into a denim jungle, but I don't fucking get it.
Honey, we're gonna look like the sky.
Look, it's a bad look in general, but I guess I see what your point is. But yeah, I don't trust people that tuck.
No,
work.
well, that man definitely had an anal plug in and was just clenched for dear life.
See,
and as I said, he was still yelling at me. I didn't talk the whole time after that. He was still like talking down to me. It hurt.
Yeah, well, you froze. When I worked retail, I fucking got off on that shit because if somebody gave me an attitude, to me, it meant I had free reign to be a complete dick to them, and I did.
I'm glad that you have that gene.
I was, if anybody was a dick to me, I was a complete, I was a two times over dick back to them, and I don't know what it was, but I was like unfireable at that job. I did so many things I should have been fired for. So many things I should have been fired for. And I just never even got in trouble. My boss would just be like, damn it, Matt. You got to stop doing that.
I almost got fired at Sam's Club. And I remember I'll call her out right now. Amanda. Fuck you, Amanda. She was a supervisor. I went to break. Break was a half an hour. I have an alarm set on my phone. 15 minutes, she's calling me back out. I'm like, why are you calling me back out? Because your break is over. No, it isn't. I've only been in here 15 minutes. I'm sorry, my lunch is over. It's like, this is my lunch, not my break.
Right.
And she like really got on my ass about it.
Well, that's one of those people that they're in a position of authority. And even though it's not the most authority out there, they're just going to take every bit of it as they can and just to feed their ego. But yeah, I was a manager and I had keys to the store when I worked at Media Play. And I remember one night I just we closed the store and I just, we took, the book department had all these chairs and tables and it was set up nice for people to read. We just pushed everything into the center and set up all the chairs and I grabbed the TV. Sat the TV down, grabbed an Xbox, put an Xbox out. We just sat in the store overnight and played games.
Wow.
I did whatever I wanted. Cool. I did anything I wanted. Because we'd just be like, what do you want to play? We'd just go open a game, stick it in.
That's one of the few things I loved about being the supervisor at Samsung. Because I didn't work for Best Buy. So whatever Best Buy tried to pull,
I didn't have to
do it.
Right.
I had to have a good relationship with them, but I didn't have to care.
That was the best job. I'll never have a job that was that fun again.
Yeah.
Because I got to do whatever I wanted. I had so much fun just fucking around with the other my coworkers. We got our work done. We always got everything done. But we just had a good time, messed around. I worked in the back room, so I just blast heavy metal back there all day. Yeah. I'll never work for anybody again unless it's that job. And that job doesn't exist anymore. So, I got new glasses while I was out too. I didn't
know you wore glasses.
Well, so I don't because I don't wear glasses because they hurt my head and face. So the pressure on my ears and the pressure on my nose will very regularly trigger a migraine.
Okay.
And I can't wear contacts because my eyes are too dry. So it feels like I have a piece of sandpaper on my cornea.
So your only recourse is just be blind?
Be blind, yeah. So here's the thing, though. So I went and got my eyes checked, right? My eyes improved since the last time I got an eye check. I can't tell you the last time. It's over 5 years ago, the last time I went and got an eye exam. My prescription actually is lesser now than it was then.
What kind of mutant are you?
No, I've said this. You wear glasses, it's a crutch. It's just like if you rolled your ass around in a wheelchair all day, your legs would atrophy and your muscles would weaken. I think if you wear glasses all the time, it's like a crutch for your eyes. And if you...
I guess it depends on what your degenerativeness is.
Sure. But I think for just general nearsightedness and farsightedness, if you force your eyes to have to adjust, I think they improve them. Like they have to work harder. So it's like working a muscle and they get better. But I went from a -2 to a -1 in both eyes. But I decided I decided I wanted to get a new pair of glasses because I was like, you know what? When I watch TV and stuff at night, I have this old shitty pair that's probably over 10 years old that I throw on, and they're all scratched up and shit. And I was like, you know what? I'll just get a new pair for that. So I went and got a new pair of glasses. But yeah, my eyesight got better since the last time I got them. So I only put them. I got this nice big wide pair with giant big old frame, so that they're as comfortable as possible. I used to hate when I'd get glasses and they were like semi-narrow. So like if you glanced outside,
you look
of the
outside
frame,
of it.
Yeah, so they're big. They're like this big. They cover my whole line of sight.
Range of motion. No, range of motion.
Yeah,
range of vision.
Range of vision. Yeah, but I was wearing them while I was out for a little bit, and just everything. I felt like I was in a different world. Like I literally was walking, and I just like. It felt weird. I didn't feel like I was seeing, like, it felt like I was closer to the ground or farther away from the ground or something, because it just felt wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bizarre. So yeah, it was weird. And now I'm worried about wearing them because I'm like, it's like another world when I put them on, where I'm like this world of clarity.
It's funny that you brought up your glasses, because I'm starting to think that I definitely need to get an eye exam. Because I have very good eyesight. My dad had very good eyesight until he didn't, and I think I'm hitting that age because now I'm getting constant floaters. Like I'm just getting black spots out of nowhere.
Yeah, me too. I have tons of floaters. I don't think they can do anything about that though.
No, that's because of age. It's the jelly in your eyes kind of going
deteriorating. Little proteins falling off. I started getting them when I was in my 20s, and when I went to the doctor, they basically told me, "Oh, they're in your range of vision, but your eyes, have you ever heard about like the experiment where if they force somebody to wear upside glasses that make their vision upside down, eventually their eyes actually correct and put it the right way again?"
Yes.
So because he told me the same.
Your brain does naturally,
right? So if you forced your vision to be upside down, eventually your brain corrects itself and actually makes it right way up. Which I guess when you take those glasses off, it's fucked up again. You got to wait. That's a fucked up experiment.
The transition to try to go back and forth, it's got to be painful.
Yo, who did that? It must have been the Nazis.
Yeah, just imagine having constant vertigo.
Yeah, but they told me it was basically the same thing. They're like, the floaters in your line of sight will eventually, your eyes will adjust and they'll just ignore them and
attention to them. Yeah.
You won't see them anymore. Never happened for me. I always see them.
What's really kind of messed up about that idea is that when you deal with somebody who's like mildly paranoid with hypervigilance, so you always see something through the corner of your eye, and it always catches your attention. Because that's how I started noticing my floaters.
Yeah, you think I was just kind of like hanging,
right? And something moved, and I'm freaked, and I freaked the hell out.
Like, what the hell was that? Oh, it was my floaters again. I have. With my floaters, if there's any light source in the room, like there's bulbs up here, as I move, there's a ripple effect through the light. So as my eyes move, if there's a light source in the room, I see little ripples of light all over the place. So that's why I hate light. Like I avoid light at all costs because it fucks with my vision, and two, it gives me a headache. So I try to stay in the dark.
Mind you, if you're looking back at the video, and this is just you specifically, or I guess anybody who's watching, you're going to notice a line of light across my forehead. The sun has just lowered.
I see this,
and it's reflecting off my car and blinding me simultaneously, so I have to hunch below the light line.
I can see the line.
I just started noticing it. I'm just
it's going to continue to get lower,
Yeah, I know. I can't do anything about it.
You're going to be down like this eventually.
Well, because my laptop is like right at that line, so I have to like put my eyes right where it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then hopefully by the time we end this, it won't have gotten to the bottom of the screen. Just some quick maintenance information. Google Podcasts, which shut down in April, I believe.
Yeah, I think mid-April.
They have finally provided a migration tool for YouTube. So the podcast is been migrated over to YouTube Music. So we have like an actual URL now for YouTube Music. So it's on the website. So if you use YouTube Music for your podcast, you should be able to find us without too much trouble now. What I'm noticing is it looks like what they do is they take the episode from the feed and they actually take the image feed and they generate a video, which is what I do every week anyway. Every time we finish an episode, I create a video that has the podcast audio with the cover image, and I upload the video. So I guess I don't have to do that anymore because now there's doubles on our channel. So like I'm looking at our channel, and there's like 2 episodes of episode 51 of the audio. There's 2 of episode 52's audio. So I'm going to have to do some cleanup on that. But fortunately, I won't have to do that anymore. It'll automatically add the shows for us, which is cool.
Cool.
So you'll be able to more easily find us on YouTube podcasts or YouTube Music now, which is good. It took them long enough. It's nice that you shut down your podcast platform and switched everything over to YouTube, and then took like almost 2 months to fucking create a solution or a tool for people to be able to share properly.
I mean, granted, they closed the site, and it took them the Google Cast, and it took them 3 weeks to actually close Google Cast.
I think it's actually still technically open.
That was my main source of using podcasts. It stopped working for me at this point.
Yeah. Did it stop working?
So
yeah.
It was my main for me. It took about 3 weeks for that to happen.
It was my main source too, and it was just, I liked the app because it was very minimal and simple.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't overly complicated. It just worked. So
now I have to use a podcast that has ads on it because I couldn't import any of my subscriptions.
That's nice.
To anything else. So,
I have Pocket Casts. I used that before I used Google Podcasts, and it's a great app. I
used to use Podbean.
It's Podbean's okay, but Pocket Cast is just like, there's so many things. There's so much to it. There's so many options.
Yeah.
It's convoluted to the point where I was like, I like the simplicity of Google Podcasts, but yeah, just maintenance. You guys can probably easily find us on YouTube Music now. The link on the website. So if you go to the website, there's all the buttons for the different listen on. The YouTube Music link works now. If you click on it, it'll bring you to a page with all of the individual episodes, not in the correct order, which is nice. I guess I have to reorder these, but it created a podcast playlist, and I have some maintenance work to do, I guess. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, well, here's some locale news. Well, actually, just specifically Cyrax, because it's funny.
We need a jingle.
Nothing new. Nothing new for him, because nothing is ever new with him. But there was a point, something I find specifically funny about him, and I fucking love it. He, like old cartoon writing, will say something that contradicts itself within the same sentence. Or it's just so absurd, but he just believes it. For instance, one of his favorite insults back in the day was, "Your mom should have spit you out instead of swallowing you."
That doesn't make sense.
It's one of
Does he not know how babies
one
are
of his
made?
insults.
Does he not know how babies are?
I don't know, but he said it a lot, and
it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Oh my! That sounds like a Yogi Berra thing. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
It is so stupid.
He probably thinks he's smart too. He probably is all happy and proud of that one, isn't he?
So
fucking dumb fuck.
So something did happen. Apparently, like, he has a buddy troll. Or I guess he's a buddy troll. And again, that guy Marty is still harassing him because he's turned into a lolcow himself. And ultimately, Cyrax created a lawsuit, and it says, he's writing this thing to get a lawsuit against Marty, and they were reading it, and one, he threatened Marty with it. Marty's not even on the letter. Like, he didn't put Marty into it. He just put his other trolls, and then he goes, "Did you write this?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I wrote all of it. And he was like, "No, you didn't." Because it says, no, he says, "No, you didn't." And the other guy, who's supposed to be his buddy, goes, "Well, here's the thing that confuses me. Why does it say your name here on the bottom?" He goes, "Well, that's for us to put our name on it." I was like, "Yeah, but you wouldn't just write your name here."
No, that wouldn't make sense.
You wouldn't write your name here. You would just put your name.
Yeah, he's not the smartest bulb in the jar, man.
Yeah, he just used
That was
bulb in a
another
jar. Yeah. He used ChatGPT and tried to like
What do you
call it
think?
his own. I'm not used to you with glasses on.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me.
Sorry, they were sitting
What-
next to me, and you know I have ADD.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I would have
He
to
used
adjust.
ChatGPT.
I'm sure he definitely has somebody that told him to use ChatGPT, and he did.
Yeah, you
and
would think
just,
so. Yeah.
And what people are suspecting, and I suspect, all he did was bitch to ChatGPT about what happened, and then it
Right.
just made a fake legal document based on what he told it, like the things he told it, because he was just like, they tried to kidnap and rape me, and it's like, no, they didn't. And they shot at me through my window, which is another thing he believed. He believed he got shot at with an ice bullet.
What the fuck's in? Oh, that's not even real.
It's not real.
It's been
And
tested. It's been
he won't
proven.
he won't show the bullet hole. He says it's there. More than likely, it was a mousetrap, from what people say. And
He
I
won't
agree
show
with
the
that.
bullet hole. He could
won't
just
show the
make
bullet hole.
He could just drill a hole in the wall and be like, "There's the bullet hole."
No, because his grandma will get mad if he drilled a hole in the wall.
Wait, he lives with his grandma?
He lives in the attic. He's literally an attic goblin.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know why
he
in
used
my
to live
head I thought maybe he lived on his own, but
Nope, he used to live in the basement, and then he got bed bugs, and then he dragged those bed bugs to the attic.
wait, so he lived in his grandmother's basement, got bed bugs, and was like, "Oh no, there's bed bugs in our basement now. I'm gonna go to the attic." And then he just
I
went up
think
to
she
the attic.
moved him to the attic. Yeah,
She didn't expect that they would follow him up into the attic.
they're gross, weird
And then
people.
she fumigates the basement, and it's clean.
and
she's
they're
like,
all in the.
now they're in the attic. I guess you can go back to the basement.
For what, the last 3 years, Cyrax has had an open Dorito bag that's just been in the background of all of his videos.
Like you could go through the months,
And you can see
the
this
Dorito
open bag of Doritos. There's been times people have seen bugs crawling on his skin during videos, which is just gross.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
It is just so gross. Like, again, I can't get over the butt picking. I just can't. Like, he will go into a complete standby mode and just pick his butt and then continue his tirade.
Wait, he stops talking while he does it?
He stops talking. He's like,
can't talk and
"No
pick at
one,
the same
Marty,
time."
life sucks, and I'm telling you, they just treat me like."
Juaquime is now scratching his ass, smelling
And
his
they just
fingers,
treat me the worst, man. They just treat me the worst.
and licking his fingers. All right.
I know he doesn't do that. I don't think.
Does he sniff him?
He's definitely done stuff that's adjacent to doing that. He does sniff it. But he's done like the rolling between your fingers and flicking it thing. He's done that.
Those are some of my favorite YouTube videos or Instagram shorts where they catch somebody like picking their armpit or picking something and that's another thing. What compels a person
I know there's
to
this
do that?
infamous one of like a girl in class and she's like digging deep and then she goes
what
like,
compels a
but she
person
like
to
looks
do that,
around and does it. But I'm like, you just put that all over your nose, right? Like now whoever's talking to you is just gonna.
What compels a person to do that? Because it seems like
Our
a lot
monkey
of people
brain.
naturally do that. They're like
because
pick at
we're
something.
monkeys.
Oh, does it
we are
smell?
big dumb monkeys.
Yep, it smells okay. I guess it's not infected.
And the internet hasn't helped us, I believe, because we feel so insular.
Yeah,
Like it's sort of like when you're inside of a car and for some reason you feel like nobody outside of your car can see you.
yes. Well, I mean, some people have tinted windows, and they think they're more tinted than they are. You ever
They're
catch
just eating
that?
their boogers
Yeah,
like
you ever catch
hardcore.
And I'm just like, bro, that tint is not that dark, man. You're not as protected as you think you are.
Oh, what was it? There's this commercial, I guess, of like somebody that was looking at like a windshield and they were like fixing their hair in it, not noticing that the parked car there was somebody in it, and they lower the window and they're staring at each other. It goes, and the person leaves. It gets really embarrassed, and then they go home and they look in a mirror or something, and then they do it, and then the mirror lowers. Somebody's looking at them. It's just, which would be my goddamn nightmare.
I love human faux pas. They're the best. There's just nothing better. There's nothing better
just
than
moments of being human.
just being a human. Just stupid dumb shit.
But I think it's just we lived with the propaganda of not being animals for so long. It's like, no, we are animals. We are weird animals, but we're animals.
We are definitely animals,
So
and
we're just gonna do animal shit sometimes.
Some people are examples of that more so than others. Through
That's
their
why everybody
actions,
can't be leaders.
through their smell, through whatever, through their butt picking.
Yeah, that's why I get so like amazed when somebody's just like, well, they're succeeding in life. They're rich. They're rich? That's your bar for how smart and powerful someone is?
Some people think
like,
that
oh,
that's...
not powerful. Powerful, yes. I'll give them power. But smart and capable they are? No.
For some people, that's a measure of success in being human. Is how much money you
or
have.
monopoly money. You're right.
Yeah. What, crypto?
Oh, well, that too. That more so. Crypto is the microcosm of how stupid money is.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
It's absolute microcosm. The amount of people stabbing each other in the back. I've seen so many documentaries of people being murdered over crypto. It's like, really?
Wait,
crypto.
people being... Oh, yeah.
Murdered over crypto.
Yeah.
I mean, it usually happens in South America, you get murdered for air over there.
People are murdered over money all the damn time.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
My wife just sent me a message and said, with 3 question marks, did you run over the kid's chalk? And now I'm worried. I didn't see any chalk. I didn't see any chalk outside, so I think I'm going to be in trouble.
I spent the first 2 hours mowing my lawn this morning because it's overgrown. Because, again, still have debris from the tree and stuff back there, tearing down the gate and everything. What's up? You okay?
She means literal cases of chalk, not like chalk on the ground. No, that wasn't me.
Large case? Oh, no.
That definitely wasn't me. Oh, you know what? I know Amazon was here. I bet it was Amazon. I got a camera out there. I'll just check it.
Yeah, just watch the camera and then blame Amazon for it.
And then I'll message Amazon and be like, She said, you just got new damn glasses and you didn't see them. It definitely wasn't me. I think I'd know if I ran over bastard buckets of chalk.
I love your wife's intense, like, snarkiness.
You just got new damn glasses.
Intense, like, so intense. She just gets really snarky with you. And I saw the face that I'm sure I know what face she was making when she messaged
You heard it here, folks, first. Amazon driver drives over children's chalk.
And then gets mistaken for Juaquime at front door.
Oh, there's an Amazon driver that thinks it's me now too, because it's just a white guy with a shaved head and a beard.
Yeah, it's equally racist.
Yeah, it's equal
it just hates humans. It's speciesist.
Yep. It's an equal. It also occasionally thinks my wife is my brother because my brother has long hair.
Yeah. All humans look alike. Great. Maybe we shouldn't have a program that distinctly recognizes people.
No, maybe it's a bad idea.
Maybe we shouldn't do that.
I just thought of this. This is a random story. You ever read those stories online? Where it's like, okay, I'm just going to tell you the story. And I read these stories online all the time, and I think they're fake. But a friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, she's a violinist, and she put up a video that this girl that used to bully her in high school messaged her asking if she would play violin at her wedding for free. And said, like, you'll get the exposure and stuff, that.
Oh, please be r/malicious compliance.
And and she was like, first off, you bullied me relentlessly in school, and you're asking me to, like, you actually made fun of me for being in orchestra when we were in school. And she was like, and you want me to do it for free? And then she was like, oh, don't be a bitch. All right, can you do it for? She's like, I usually charge $3,000 or something like that. And she was like, oh my God, that's so expensive. Like, could you at least do it for like $1,500? And she posted online and it's like went viral. But how many times have you seen those types of things and thought they were fake?
You know what? Okay, so
I see them all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of people on YouTube that read like Reddit stories.
Right.
r/ again, malicious compliance, r/bad bosses, r/free art, things like that.
Right.
And after a while, you do start to think that a lot of them are just bullshit.
Okay.
Like, I know people ask for free art. My sister is an artist online, and people have asked her for free art all the time. But you just, some of the stories don't feel believable. And a lot of them end in the kind of way that feels like, and then everyone clapped.
Yes, agreed. That's what I mean.
So I think there's certain things that need to, like, certain criteria that are either hit that lead to it being fake or aren't hit that lead to being fake. Like, there's just certain lines, at least for me to believe that they're fake or not without receipts, you know?
Yeah, I've seen so many examples like that though, or similar stories, and I've always thought they were bullshit. And I was like, oh, this is somebody I
People
actually
really
know.
do that. People are like that.
I just like can't believe it, and I've always thought that they were maybe not necessarily fake, but overly
Over dramatized, exaggerated,
or exaggerated, or more more hyperbole than reality.
What was that? Yeah, yeah, maybe just exaggerated or.
But it's somebody I actually know that it happened to, and and I was like, holy shit, this is like really does happen in the world. Like, this shit goes on. It's fucking ridiculous. It's unbelievable to me that people have got such fucking balls. Unbelievable. Yeah. But yeah, she was just like, no, fuck you. I was like, good for you. Good for you for saying, oh, fuck you.
That's great. There's people that ask for free shit all the time because they tangentially know you.
I know, like, hey, person
And
I went to high
painful.
school with, will you do the thing you do professionally for free at my wedding because you went to high school with me?
Yeah, because we knew each other.
What?
Not even that we were friends. Not even friends. Just we knew each other.
You just knew each other. Unbelievable. Okay. I think I have two more things to talk about before we get into our topic. And we've already gone 40 minutes, so I'll try to not make these super long. Did you hear about this? I think he's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker. Did you hear about the story of his
sports
commencement
stuff? No, I do not know anything about.
He's a sports figure. It's not a sports story though. He did.
Okay, still the answer is no.
He did a commencement speech at some bullshit Catholic school, right? College, right? And in the speech, he said, "Okay, this is the quote." How many of you are sitting here? Oh, wait, hold on. My wife's bringing me tea because she's a good wife. Oh, it's my cunt cup, too. Like that?
I just see unt, but yes.
The handle is the C.
Oh, the handle's the C. I just realized it.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
That's pretty good.
Thanks, wife. I did not run over the chalk. It must have been the Amazon driver.
There were no Amazon drivers between when I brought the kids inside and when you came home.
An Amazon driver was just here after I came home.
Oh.
Wasn't me. I think I'd notice if I ran over two things of chalk. I'm just saying. Amazon. So we're going to report Amazon. We're going to go and complain to customer service and get some free shit. Get somebody fired.
They'll replace the chalk. Just get you more chalk.
Select the free things.
No, they're just going to send us like 100 things of chalk. Like a gross of chalk.
But I don't need that. I have access.
You don't
to
have a
that
choice.
at school.
Nope, sorry. You don't have a choice.
From
Amazon
Wuhan,
destroyed your
China.
chalk. Yeah, it's going to be from China too. It's going to be from Wuhan. That's what Joaquime says. All right, back to the program. Okay, so during the speech he says, how many of you are sitting here now about to cross the stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world. But I would venture to guess that the majority of you are excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. That's what he said, okay? And apparently that was specifically addressed to female graduates. That wasn't like just in general. And like people are shitting all over him now. like, dude, first, I don't think it's that bad to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear where either he said something wrong or
he's basically, people are like, oh, he's just implying that women should just be homemakers and that's what they should be doing. Like, no, he didn't. He specifically said, like, there's probably a lot of you that are excited to have a successful career, but I bet a bunch of you are excited about your marriage and your children, and that's, like, to me, career was never the most important thing in my life. It was going to be my relationship and my children. That's what I wanted out of life.
When I was younger, I always wanted to be like, famous, like most people. And I realized, no, people aren't just... I don't want to please you fucking people.
Was there something you wanted to be famous for?
Film directing and writing. I don't want to please you people. I don't want to put my thoughts out there just for you to be cunts about it.
Yeah, really.
You're gonna like hang on every single thing I say, and when not even if, when I contradict or missay something or misconstrue a thought,
right?
You're gonna be on top of me like white on rice. Nah, I'm good.
I mean,
it's not worth being part of that discourse or that mental retardation.
This is an NBC News article. They claim he also railed against abortion, Pride Month, and the COVID-19 lockdown. But that's not what people are focusing on. They're just focusing on this one statement. At a Catholic school.
At a Catholic school. Okay, why were people there? Okay, first of all, if you're a Catholic and you're open-minded, I really need to talk to you with a therapist in the room to understand how your brain works. Because that just doesn't compute to me.
No, it doesn't. Those two things don't go together well.
It just doesn't. Progressivism, open-mindedness, being a decent... that just doesn't work for Catholicism with me.
No, they don't really mesh well.
Or at least the attempt to be a decent person. Well, you know what? No, because Catholicism is all about self-hate. Like, quite literally, it's just self-hate and kiss the ring.
I mean, that's a joke with Irish Catholics, right?
That's why they're all such good drinkers.
They just hate themselves completely.
like nothing's worse than fighting either a crackhead or someone who really hates themselves.
Yes.
Like, you don't want to fight somebody like that. You don't want to be in any kind of issue with someone like that.
You can't.
There's no winning. If you beat that person up, you're a monster. If they beat you, which is more likely the option, they're not going to stop.
No. I just didn't know why this was even a story. Like, why do people...
It's not a story. It's not a story.
I mean, it's not, but it is. It shouldn't be.
It became a story. It's not a story.
It's not a story, but it became... Right, yeah. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. And
so I was...
Go ahead.
All right, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, randomly, speaking of like news stories, because I was talking to our mutual friend Shale Riley, who's a public figure, so I'm just going to say his name.
Yeah, we always call him Rock. I guess we don't have to do that, do we?
Yeah, we don't. He's a public figure.
If you've ever heard us refer to Rock, that's who we're talking about. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. He... I mentioned the whole Dalai Lama thing, and he had like a meltdown.
Wait, which? Oh,
like a comical meltdown.
The one with the Dalai Lama kissing.
Yeah. And he says, the Dalai Lama's still like doing those things. I don't know, because he's gone completely quiet, and there's been no news people around wherever he is at this point. Nobody said anything.
I can't remember the last time I heard anything about the Dalai Lama.
We were starting the show when that happened.
Was it that long ago?
I think it was at least within the range of episode 1 to episode 20.
Yeah, you might be right. Shout out to
it was within that range.
At Shale Riley, by the way. He's check out his music.
I love that dude.
Yeah, I love that dude too. I've known him since we were literally 5 years old, and one of the most talented musicians I think I've ever known, or not known. So go check him out.
I did not know you were his guitarist.
Yeah, we played in a band together for years.
Yeah,
many years.
I knew you guys played together, but I didn't know you were in a band together.
Yeah,
I thought you just like hung out and...
No, we were in a band together for years. We wrote a lot of music, and we played. We played whenever we got a chance to play out. I mean, we were kids. Yeah. We were kids. But I just even remember being. I think we were in middle school at that point when we first started playing together. And I remembered then just being like, this dude is a musical genius.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just knew right away. I just could... He'd come to me with a song and be like, hey, I wrote this new song, Matt. And he'd play it, and I'd just be like, that's just so good. It's just such a beautiful...
It's so good. It's just so good.
It's just so... I don't know how anybody can hear that melody and not like it. Like, just such a genius with that stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, the songs that he wrote... and I wrote some, which were not as good. But the songs we wrote and played, I have recordings I still listen to. You know, I've got recordings from when we were probably 15, 16 years old that I still have and still listen to in digital form, which I think I've sent to him.
Look, I still find myself, like, I have CDs, burned CDs with a bunch of his songs on it.
Yeah, no surprise.
Because, again, I was best friends with his little brother.
Right.
And so that's just kind of like the younger, almost felt like a younger brother kind of thing. So I'm sure I've seen you multiple times, like, hanging out with him.
I'm sure we did.
You were a background character to me at the time.
I mean, and honestly, we were usually up in the attic. So
yeah, exactly.
We were up in the attic.
Exactly.
It was me playing guitar, him playing bass, and then we had a rotating drummer. You know, his brother played drums sometimes. We had we had a friend named Derek that played drums sometimes. We had, you know, it was always me and him, and then some rotating drummer that was playing with us. You know,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I actually remember like
Dan.
the random drummer thing because his brother would tell me.
There's a guy named Dan.
His younger brother would tell me.
But yeah, we always played. You know, whenever there was any sort of talent shows or battle of the bands stuff, we would play together. I remember going to a battle of the bands in Pine Bush, New York, when we were so young, and like still one of my best memories of going out on the stage and playing that show with him and playing two of our songs. That were just great fucking song. One of the songs we played is still in my head one of the best songs of all time that he wrote. It's still to me is one of the best composed songs ever written. It's called The Works. He'll remember it. Okay, I'm sure. Of course, he wrote it. It's still to me one of the best songs of all time that I've ever heard. Just a beautifully composed song.
I think he molded a lot of like the type of music that I like to listen to. Yeah. Because even if I'm not listening to his music, I think when he incorporates, I know we're just glazing him at this point, but the way he incorporates dissonant chords. Yep. And like off melodies, I love songs that do that.
Me too.
And I think it's because my formative years, that's what I kind of hear his music.
Same thing. It shaped me too.
Something I fell in love with.
He and I were huge Alice in Chains fans. We would literally go up to his attic and not play the CD, play, you know, on instruments,
like actually play the music.
Entire unplugged album all the way through. We'd start with the first track and play every single song on that album all the way through.
Like you were playing real life Rock Band,
right? It was just like it was so great. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Yeah. We're just sucking his dick, basically.
Yeah, I just realized that's what we're doing,
which is fine. He deserves it in that respect. But anyway, only other thing I wanted to mention was did you hear that they're gonna have a debate in June?
No.
Biden and Trump are going to have a debate in June.
I don't care.
No, dude, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so great.
No. The thing is, it's such a circus. And I just don't want to be one of the clowns.
But here's what they did.
There is no audience.
There's and I can't remember the name, but there's like a formal committee that is responsible for American debates, right? American presidential debates. So sorry, I just got a message and saw it and just lost my train of thought. There's they basically said to this commission, like, fuck you, we're not gonna use you. We're just gonna have our own debate. Trump and Biden both agreed.
Just because they're just going to.
And they usually don't have, I don't know if you've recall, but they usually don't have debates until like October. Like much closer to the election. They're doing one in June before either of them are even the candidate.
Because it's a show.
But they've agreed. But there's a bunch of things. They've both agreed that whatever the time is, like say they have 2 minutes to talk, the mics will shut off after that time period. And it makes me so happy because I can picture Donald Trump. The mic's going to turn off and he's just going to start yelling.
He's going to keep talking through it.
I'm not done.
But then Biden's not going to remember half of what he's saying at any given time anyway.
But that's the best. I want to see Biden standing there with no teleprompter and he's got to talk through issues. It's just going to be great. It's going to be so great to see both of them be complete fools. Oh, it's going to be great.
You are who they're catering to, I guess.
Yeah, but no,
I'm so tired of it. I don't care about it all being business as usual. But again, what they do affects everybody, and that bothers me.
Look, It's
in my deep down.
There's no benefits Trump, so I'm not sure why he's agreeing to do it. It's only going to help.
It's Biden a show. That's why.
Yeah, but it's only Biden. I'm sure he's doing terribly in polling, right? I'm sure he's hoping he could get on stage, show people what a loudmouth, obnoxious asshole Donald Trump is, and show people that he can still like talk. And Donald Trump said he wants drug testing before to make sure they haven't pumped up Biden with stimulants.
That's pretty funny.
It's gonna be great to watch the two of these idiots. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Like, and you know what really gets me? I don't even would not want Trump to win because he's Donald Trump and I don't like him. That's not why I don't want him to win.
Right.
I can't do 4 more years of him because I can't stand 1, listening to him, 2, listening to people who like him and people who hate him. I can't deal with the Trump derangement syndrome anymore. Like, people are still out of their minds about it. And it's so tiring. It's exhausting. That's why I minimally talk about him on this show. I am just so tired of the guy.
Well, people keep talking about it like it's going to be the end of the world if he gets elected, right? Look, he got elected before. We thought the same thing then. It wasn't the end of the world.
I didn't think that then.
People thought that, but it didn't. The world didn't end. Now, and then the other argument people make are, well, yeah, but you know, he's going to try to subvert. Do you think he's going to give up power? He's going to try to subvert democracy and not give up power.
He already did try, but
right
you know.
Again, he tried that before and it didn't work. Why makes you think it's going to work this time?
Well, my thing is, okay, in the logical sense of for me, from my perspective of it, is that he is not dangerous because of him. Whatever kind of weird charisma he has that people see, it's them that I'm worried about. The ripple effect of how weird crazies get into power. Yeah. Because of him. Just sheerly existing.
But we've seen that kind of knocked down, right? Because like Carrie Lake. Like Carrie Lake's a good example, right? She was another lunatic that people were like, she's a woman Trump. She ran for governor of Arizona and she lost.
Yeah, but again, the conservative party was like fractured because of how crazy most of the base is.
Yeah,
but again, I'm talking about our level too. Like people on our level who are just like pro-Trump are all nutcases. And
I guess you're right.
I would like some people to at least rein in some of that nuttiness. But like, well, at least they're showing their true colors. Here's the thing about that whole true color bullshit is that part of you holding yourself back to succeed or exist in society is part of who you are. When you let that shit go, you are now just the most aggro, worst version of yourself. And I don't want to deal with that from people. That's not their true selves. That's just them being enabled. That is not a true representation of someone.
Like being on a stimulant that just ramps you up to a whole different level. Yeah.
You're still not you. You're just an over-exaggerated version of you.
Right.
So you might have those traits, but that's still not an accurate representation. Sure. Because some people are capable of feeling shame.
Well, that's you at your worst, right?
Yeah, it's you at your worst. Like, man, I just wasn't myself. And I think I've said it before, the same thing with drinking. When they say, well, they tell you who they really are when they drink. No, they don't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
All your inhibitors are broken.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's just, like you said, an aggro version of yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. When I'm drunk, I'm happy. I'm never happy.
That's true.
So that doesn't... that doesn't make sense.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. All right.
I just,
I get it. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be hilarious. And
it probably will be.
It probably
will be hilarious.
And I like shit shows.
I just have to take a breath and maybe I'll watch it.
You know what we should do? We should watch it and live stream.
That actually would be kind of interesting.
It'd be hilarious. All right, we're going to do it's not till June. We got like a few weeks to plan. We got a few weeks to plan. All right, we're going to get into our topic.
It's time to begin the complaining.
Juaquime, you introduce our topic for this week.
Well, before I introduce the topic, I do have to say how my taint is tickled by the statement to begin the complaining. I love that every time I hear it. I get a little giggle.
So when we had Paul on, he was
tee-hee.
like, "Begin the complaining."
Yeah, I just love it. It's just something.
I don't know why that's what came to my mind when I asked Dave Sorensen to create our topic start theme. I was like, "Do this. It's time to begin the complaining." It's literally the whole podcast. We're not starting complaining at all. The complaining began when we first hit the fucking record button. But whatever.
Hell, we were doing it before we recorded it.
I know, that's true. You're absolutely right. You know what? The complaining really never stops. You know,
it's like an ever-flowing river.
It's an ever-flowing river of complaining. All right,
but okay, so in our last episode, we talked about Ultracrepidarians. Well, prepare for Ultracrepidarians Part 2, also known as
the Dunning-Kruger
effect.
It wasn't our last episode, buddy. That was episode 30.
No, but I was doing in our last episode.
Oh, it's like a part
thing,
2
thing.
Yeah. So now we could say, like, listen to them back to back, and then it's like a 2-part sequel thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I ruined it. Like a lot of time between.
I ruined it.
Damn it.
All right. If you're go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, fuck that. You go ahead, because I don't want to explain it wrong.
You go ahead.
I don't want to explain it wrong, so you explain it.
No, because I'm going to let you talk while I look up the definition and then act like I'm smarter than you.
I already have the definition in front of me. So
then do it. Which one? Which definition?
The
Which one are you looking
Dunning-Kruger
up?
Effect.
Okay, now go.
Are you looking up Ultracrepidarians?
Yes, I am.
All right. The Dunning-Kruger effect is, if you're not familiar with it, it's essentially a cognitive bias where people with very limited competence or knowledge on a particular subject greatly overestimate their abilities because they have such limited competence. Right?
Yes, which is kind of the next step to being, from being an Ultracrepidarian, which you're just expressing opinions on matters outside of your scope, of your knowledge or your expertise. So you're talking shit, essentially.
Yeah.
But then when you start believing your own garbage...
Yeah, like, imagine somebody just does a complete dog shit job of something, and then you talk to them, and they think it was just, they fucking knocked it out of the park. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect right there. That's what it is. Like, so think about, like, we'll talk about Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Oh,
like,
God. Yeah.
Anytime they talk... And anytime Donald Trump talks, he could say the dumbest shit, but he gets
the best ever at everything.
He thinks he's the best ever at everything. There you go. That's it in action. Which is kind of related to Ultracrepidarian. So go ahead. You go ahead with that, since you're the one that looked it up.
Well, I mean, usually being an Ultracrepidarian is kind of like what we do. We're expressing opinions, but ultimately we know that we're not experts in any of these fields.
Right.
Like, we, by definition, are Ultracrepidarians.
Absolutely.
There's a self-awareness to that. Yeah. And even in the episode that we did before, I feel like we didn't have a full understanding of what Ultracrepidarian was. Like, we knew that we were that, but I don't think we knew about the awareness. Right. I never looked back on the episode. I could be wrong. I'm going to continue Ultracrepidarian all over the place.
Right.
But, because Matt and I were talking about it, about what we were going to do for an episode, and and I kind of forgot what the word was, but then thought of the Dunning-Kruger effect, and we're like, aren't they the same thing? No,
they're very similar, but there's that one key difference.
It's absolutely
right.
And I have to say, like, I personally find myself bemused by, like,
100%,
by people who really skirt that line into the Dunning-Kruger effect.
And it's really hard to tell sometimes. It's hard to
tell. Yeah.
It's hard to tell if they're just talking out of their ass, like we do on a regular basis, or if they genuinely think they know what they're talking about.
Oh, my God.
And are just blowing bullshit out.
Funny enough, I was listening to an episode of one of my favorite podcasts called Be and Ian with Jordan Jensen.
Okay. I'll have to put that on my list.
Ian is a comedian and Jordan is a comedian. Jordan is one of my favorite like modern day comedians right now. Jordan Jensen, she's fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna put it on my list to
She
look
wasn't
up later.
on this. She wasn't on this episode, but Brian Simpson, who's another comedian, I'm definitely going to check out because that was the first time I ever heard him, and he was hilarious too.
Okay.
He mentioned how he's an ultracrepidarian. Out of nowhere, I was not expecting like this. We planned this, and I was listening to this while I was mowing my lawn today.
Oh,
and
wow!
He brought it up. Yeah, he brought up being an ultracrepidarian.
We talked about this a couple days ago, so yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, no, it's just talking shit." Like, that's really, I'm just talking shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. I'm an ultracrepidarian.
Absolutely,
because he was like dropping knowledge throughout the entire episode, like random like factoids.
You know how much better it is to be able to just acknowledge that when you're talking about something and just be like, yeah. Like that's so much better than the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you don't acknowledge the fact that you don't know what you're talking about, and you
it's all ego at that point.
You just
it is all ego.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. It is all ego, but it's just it's crazy how similar some two things can be with such a huge swing in the perspective.
Yes, because you know what I realize is sort of like the Dunning-Kruger effect is a lack of knowledge feedback loop, where like I don't know what that is, but you know what? Applying what I do know, I think I do know what that is, because that makes sense, right? Yeah, and I definitely could know what that is, and then no, definitely, there's no way I don't, and it just like Tootsie Rolls itself in a spiral, so you never can reach outward to going, I don't know what I'm talking about. You just keep reinforcing you're stupid in a circle. Yeah. Like, just imagine if somebody like was a teacher but had like major Dunning-Kruger effect, mostly college teachers.
Yeah, college students.
Lecturing straight from the book.
Dude, look at college students. Look at all these protests going down right now, with all these people out there protesting against this war that they really don't know anything about when you think about it. Have you seen some of the videos where they ask
Hassan Piker? I'm going to call him out. I don't care. We're not big enough for him to care.
No.
Hassan Piker is a Twitch streamer who talks about the war and political things all the time that he knows nothing what he's talking about. He used to be part of the Young Turks.
Yes, okay. Now I just had to look
he's
him up.
He's a political streamer, and he's known for like watching videos, not even really watching them. He'll go up and go to the bathroom or get something to eat and let the video just play. So he's just stealing content. He used to be a reply guy to some conservative blonde woman. But yeah, he is the epitome of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Where he does.
Explain.
So he was talking about, like, there was apparently some bombs that were being dropped in the Middle East, and he was an expert on the kind of bombs they were and who dropped them. He was completely wrong, but he knew, and he was putting it out there as fact. He wasn't putting it out there as his opinion.
How would he know?
He doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, how could anybody think he would know?
Because he's a Middle Eastern person. But he's also said, like, America deserved 9/11. He has openly said that, and then blamed it.
Nice.
And then blamed it on English being his second language.
Oh, he just misspoke.
If anybody wants to look up stuff on Hassan, like, objectively, like, the bad things he does, I don't care if you want to go, well, this person hates him and that's why they paint it. Look at his actual streams then afterwards. Look at a bunch of videos on him afterwards. But one person I will always say, Willie Mack. Willie Mack just been going after Hassan for so long, and I can't disagree with a lot of things Willie Mack says. It doesn't feel disingenuous, because Hassan is probably the most disingenuous person. He even made enemies with what's his name? Ethan Klein, who's like one of the biggest YouTubers out there. H3H3. And he had a podcast with him. And since Hassan's audience are complete psychopaths and just follow whatever Hassan says, they turned against Ethan, calling him like an anti-Semite, even though Ethan is Jewish.
Did I just hear the girls are going to take over the podcast?
Apparently our daughters are planning to take over the podcast, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you know what? I believe them. That would actually be an oddly comical, like, visual gag.
Oh, I thought about doing that. I have. That's been something I thought about doing, and I was like, maybe not. I thought it'd be funny to have them do the intro.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want their faces on.
Right,
here.
right. No, that's the problem. Yeah.
So there's plenty of good ideas, like to do stuff like that. Which was like, I have a hilarious video of my daughter when she was a baby, like making like growling rock music kind of noises.
Yeah.
And I was like, that'd be so funny to put online. I was like, no, I should not do that.
Nope. When
I'm not internet brained enough.
When my daughter was born, my wife was very clear with everybody and upfront and said, I don't want any pictures of her posted online. Like, I don't want you posted on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And my mother-in-law was just like, fuck you.
Yep.
And I told her, I was like, you can't prevent that from happening. It's going to happen. Like, you can not post them. You can try to make sure that, like...
You can make it as minimal as possible.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to prevent it. Her grandmother is going to want to post pictures on her Facebook page of her grandchildren, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
But yeah, so... so again, this guy epitomizes like being like in the Dunning-Kruger zone. Like, he's done just some horrible things. He turned on people, and then when you call him out on it, he's like, no, it's not like that. This is not how I did it. Or, I did not say those words, but he said those exact words.
Uh-huh.
He never admits when he's wrong. Mind you, he made it his job to point out when somebody was wrong all the time. There was like, I guess when Trump first was elected, there was this really, I don't remember her name, and she's like a really young Ann Coulter. She's just this young blonde white girl who was like super conservative.
Oh, there's like, a few of them. Ashley St. Clair.
Yeah, but she spawned it. She created it. And Hassan Piker made it his job on Facebook to just reply to everything she said. And back then, I thought it was kind of cool. I'm sorry, his name is Hassan Abi now. It was Hassan Piker back then. Because I used to follow Hassan Piker back then.
Wait, he changed his name?
Yes.
Any reason?
He goes by Hassan Abi. I don't know. I don't care enough to know. That was his whole thing.
Oh, I see. When I Googled it, it says Hassan Piker, also known as Hassan Abi.
Yeah, that's what he goes by currently.
Does he think he's Puff Daddy? Just change his name every once.
If only.
or Kanye.
Oh, speaking of, did you see the? And I know I should have mentioned this earlier. Did you see the apology? Puffy's apology.
I did not.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, I have.
It is hilarious. It's so bad.
His apology for the video in which he was beating the crap out of
beating. What was his girlfriend or wife?
I thought it was just a singer.
You know what? It doesn't matter who it was.
It doesn't
matter.
Was a
woman.
Yeah,
it was a person.
A human
being.
He
was in a towel. He was in a towel with like, what did he have, socks on? And that towel didn't drop. That is skill. That is a domestic abuse skill.
Yeah.
To not have that towel drop.
I know. I can't walk 2 feet in a towel without it falling off.
Right, I can't walk in a straight line without a towel.
That's what I mean. I gotta hold that shit up.
And Puffy in that video was big, like muscular big, which I was not expecting.
It's the HGH, bro.
But he's just like, yeah, in that video, I apologize for my actions in that video. I was fucked up. There's no excuses.
Oh, shit.
Everything I did in that video
I was fucked up.
Was just not good in that video. Like, he just kept like mentioning specifically that video. Like, his lawyer said, don't say anything extra anything. Say you are sorry about everything that happened in that video.
In that video, I did things that were bad. That is true. Where's the apology, though?
He's like, I seek therapy. Don't. Because apparently, not even weeks before the video released, he was saying that she was lying.
Oh, and then the video came out and he was like, oh, shit.
And now he's just like,
shit.
I seek therapy. I'm a different man now. Like,
let that be a lesson, Diddy. You make sure there's no video before you say
he did. Lying. He paid like $50,000 to have it quiet, to keep it quiet.
Oh, he did?
He paid money.
And they still leaked the
and
video?
It's still leaked.
I mean, that's good for that person. Good for
They
that.
got that money.
Good for that
Leaked
person
it.
for being like, take that 50 grand and be like, fuck you, I'm still putting the video out.
He did. Whoever did that did. If they were the one who got paid and still leaked the video, they did exactly what my Fable 2 character would have done.
They did exactly what everybody in that situation should do. Fuck over the person, take the money, and then still fuck them over.
Just still fuck them over.
at
It's
the
like,
end.
no, you beat a woman.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I'm just
sorry.
now I could just pay off my college debt. Like,
Oh, man,
Thanks.
that's great. Oh, that's great.
so, but, whew. But yeah, so yeah, that whole thing, like all you have to do is watch a bunch of Hassan videos and you'll see exactly the Dunning-Kruger effect in full, like, display.
I ran into it a lot just in the course of my job, doing what I do.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of people I ran into, whether they were coders who thought they knew everything about coding, or social media specialists that thought they knew everything about social media, or anything, search marketing.
I could imagine.
The amount of people I ran into that just just thought they knew fucking everything. And when I actually started to talk to them, I realized they did not have a fucking clue what they were talking about. But they 100% thought that they knew everything. So many people. Go on. I remember trying to hire a replacement for myself. That was fun. And interviewing people and just like listening to the diarrhea coming out of their mouth. And they 100% thought that they knew everything they were doing. There's the opposite too. I met people that were so incredibly competent and thought they weren't. They just didn't have, I don't know if it was a self-esteem thing or what. Like I have a friend that I still know that he had no idea how good of a graphic designer he was. And I think he still doesn't know. And he's fantastic. But the amount of people I ran into I'd interview them and ask them questions, and they just go on this tangent and talk for 5 minutes, and they'd get done, and I'd be like, "You didn't say anything."
You know what? Really, now that I think about it, because I didn't think I had a personal example for something like that, but I think going to film school.
Oh God,
I met with that a lot.
I bet.
And I kind of became kind of like that too when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh, this is how they did that.
Sure.
Like I didn't know that.
Right.
Maybe I don't know what their techniques were, because if that was the case, I would be doing it to make movies.
No, well, I mean, there's again, the line is so fine.
It's super fine
between.
But I think self-awareness and ego. I think
right.
How's it going?
You're right. Those are the difference. There's the self-awareness portion that puts you on the Ultracrepidarian side, and there's the ego that puts you on the Dunning-Kruger side. But there are so many. I don't know what my train of thought was there. I kind of lost it. No, that's fine. But I think you could, like you said, as a film student, look at it and think to yourself, you have a general idea of knowing what they're doing without crossing that line to the point where.
Well, perfect example is like if you're online and somebody's like, "How did this work?" and then somebody explains it. Well, an asshole is somewhere in the text string.
Oh yeah,
and they explain because you realize there's people who are in professional fields who can also hit the Dunning-Kruger effect, because they'll go, "Well, as this is how this works," but. Well, I realize, at least for me, not listening to that, but listening to them going, "As of this, in my experience," those specific words mean a whole lot more.
There's a big difference there too.
Just like, in my experience, this is how this has worked.
So
because you might be wrong.
No, so to your point, there are definitely a lot of people who are in a field that suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect. So what I was just talking about, those people with the verbal diarrhea that spout off, somebody that's not in the field that would, like, if it wasn't me hiring the person, if it was just a manager that needs somebody to do that job, they may hear all that and to them go, "Oh, that sounded really good. That was eloquent. That was verbose. It sounds like they really know what they're talking about." But it takes somebody who actually knows what they're talking about to recognize that was just a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I was not even saying that. I was talking about, like, let's say that you are a therapist, but you're not a psychologist.
Right, okay.
But as a therapist, you think you know what a psychologist does. So somebody has a specific psychology question.
That happens.
You may answer in your field of expertise, but in actuality, you don't fucking know.
I think, again, it's such a fine line. There are therapists certainly have background in psychiatry, so they have, they understand different syndromes, different disorders. But again, there's that fine line between knowing what it is and being able to talk about it, and thinking that you're an expert and can prescribe and tell somebody what they should be doing.
Yeah, like, I don't want my therapist. I would like my therapist to give suggestions, but I would not like them to tell me you need this medication.
Right, absolutely.
Get this medication.
This is
what I don't. I feel a little icky about that.
That's the fine line between the two. Again, there's a difference between saying like, hey, here's some options you may consider, and you should be on Wellbutrin or something.
Just like No, you need to have a daily dose of Valium, which actually I wish my psychologist would just...
Every day I want you to take your thumb and shove it right up your ass.
Turn it counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. Okay? If you're in the southern hemisphere, then turn it clockwise. But we're in the northern hemisphere, so turn it counterclockwise, okay?
Does latitude matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Do I have to be above the seawall?
No,
the sea line?
No, none of that matters. No, it's just depends. I don't remember.
Pacific time or mountain time?
Just the latitude matters. Okay, that's it. Not the longitude. We're not worried about time zones or anything. If you're in daylight savings time, you might want to crank your thumb down just a little bit. All right.
Oh.
Not straight up. Maybe just a little bit of a curve.
Clip nails or no?
Well, I mean, you're going to be putting your thumb up your ass, so you may want to clip your nails. I don't know how good you wipe.
I like how much of a real answer that was.
I don't know how good you are at wiping. If you use a bidet, you might be fine. If you use just regular toilet paper, I would suggest probably clipping your nails. You might want to keep them short.
Just give myself a little bit of a headache with that one.
I'm sorry.
It was such a sincere answer, though. Like, I even looking at your face, like, well, you are sticking your thumb up here.
I would love to go to a doctor one day and have them be like, here's my suggestion. What I want you to do is go home and stick your thumb up your ass.
That's literally a doctor who either has some kind of seniority or one that's leaving within that day. It's just done.
Yeah, they're just done.
Leaving that practice.
They're just done. Yeah, not a good suggestion if you just had a hemorrhoidectomy. You don't want to go sticking anything around that area.
Tear those anal scabs. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not fun, man. It's not fun. Stitches aren't fun either.
No.
Asshole stitches are the worst kind of stitches.
I couldn't imagine.
Okay, we're getting a little off topic here.
A little?
Oh, shit. Yeah, so the Dunning-Kruger effect. That was our topic for this episode. I guess
was it our topic? I don't feel like it was.
We talked about it briefly. You know what? Look, with our episodes, there are episodes where there are things that are not so full-fledged that we want to dedicate an hour to them. Sometimes there are things that just annoy the shit out of us that only need 15 to 20 minutes of our time. You know
what? You're very true. You know what? Lastly, I do have to say, my last thing with the Dunning-Kruger effect, because it's all online stuff. My whole life is online. I'm internet brained.
We all are at this point.
Is people who say they can write a movie better. No matter how good or how bad the movie is, usually bad. Like
that have never written a goddamn thing in their life.
Never wrote anything, or if they didn't, it's doo-doo garbage. It's just like they're saying, well, this movie's bad. Well, why is it bad? Well, because they wrote this character this way. Okay, how would you write the character? Well, first I wouldn't have them in. No. You would need to make a good product. I'm not even doing the defense of, well, you're not doing it, so you suck. No. I'm saying you're an expert on it. You gave your opinion that you think is bad, but now you're saying that you could have done better by XYZ. I want to know what XYZ is.
Uh,
Because you're saying you're an expert now.
yeah, you're not going to get a good answer.
Because if you gave your opinion, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think everybody should be able to say that this sucks or this is great.
Sure. Yeah.
And then give their reasoning, and that's cool. But then once you put in your ego and like, well, you know, I could do better, then okay, then do better.
Then how would you do that? Yeah. How?
I just want to know.
Tell me how.
I'll even give you a week.
Tell me how, internet commenter. Hey, internet commenter. Give you a week. Come back. Reply to this comment and tell me how.
That'll never happen. I wish there was an accountability button on internet comments, even for myself. Just like accountability buttons. That's just like
accountability.
Right? Our accounts are connected for about a week's time. Me and you are best friends.
Accountability button. All right.
But yeah, so
that's our episode.
I think we winded down.
We did wind down. It was a little bit of wind down there. That's okay. If you got anything you want to talk about, you could send us an email. You could go and do that on the website.
ATIWIHY.com.
I
keep thinking that's my voice. I hate it.
That is not your voice. Why do you think it's your voice?
I know. It just,
Does it sound like your voice to you?
In my head, it does, and it bothers me.
You know, I think about
I
it.
get the same effect as in hearing my voice back. It's the same effect.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
On me, so that's why I'm just like, oh, I think that's my. Did he use an AI of my voice?
No, I did not. That is
okay. Thank you for solidifying.
That is Justin Nozick. That is not your voice.
Oh, thank God.
Apparently, you two sound very
Justin.
similar.
I wouldn't know. I just thought that after you sent that AI of like us talking,
and you said that you like doo doo. That was a long time ago.
That was so long.
Quite a few episodes ago.
That's how shit stays in my head. Shit. That's how like information stays in my head forever, and I won't talk about it because I'll think it's my fault.
That and the guy that scolded you when you were 17 years old at Sam's Club.
Yep, this just sticks.
All right, everybody. I hate shit like that. Things happen and it sticks in your head forever, and you just can't get rid of it.
Yep.
Now all I'm gonna hear is you yelling doo-doo when I listen to our theme song.
You know that I don't use you.
Peace.
Later.